Do you remember when the cheerleaders did their thing? Victory they wanted to swing, certainly had the spirit to bring. Jerry, do you remember? Then you're much better than I.
I sure do remember. They look really fine in those tartan skirts and pom-poms. And you can't forget the majorettes, right? And those two groups, you guys remember this, I'm sure, that school spirit was a really big thing. It was important that we have some life in our school and in things we participate in. And those two groups, the cheerleaders and the majorettes, were probably the most spirited groups in the school. So you know what I'm going to say, right? You're getting like, you know what the plan is here. So we want the cheerleaders, former cheerleaders and majorettes, we want you to stand. Please stand. Oh, no. Come on now, put your hands over here. There you go. We have a prop for you, but it looks like you brought your own. So Patsy's going to lead us or going to do a cheer for us right now. Woo! All right. Oh, this is no good here, is it?
She needs it.
She needs it. You want your pom-pom?
Yeah, okay.
Good. Wow.
We want a touchdown. We want a touchdown. We want a touchdown. Ooh.
You begged, but according to John Mitchell, you didn't get many touchdowns.
No, we didn't.
Jerry, do you remember the homecoming game? Penny Perlman was the name. She got the crown and all the fame. First, the football game they would play. Halftime, the queen would be who they say. Homecoming was a favorite day.
Yeah, I remember.
You remember?
And I remember that I think that this is kind of a homecoming for us as well. And so, we ought to have that.
Louder.
Oh, we can't hear you. Okay. I knew that was going to happen because I didn't do my vocal practice. This is your fault. This is kind of a homecoming, yes?
Yes.
And we should have a homecoming queen, yes?
Yes.
And why shouldn't the homecoming queen be the former homecoming queen?
Yes.
All right. We're going to do that. Oh, we're going to do a whole. The votes are now in, ladies and gentlemen. This is this year's homecoming queen. Thank you very much.
Can you read it?
I can. Man, I can read this without my glasses. Nancy Snyder. I should do this. I'm not good at putting things.
Okay, somebody take a picture.
Turn around.
All right.
Pretend you're putting it in the currency.
I'm putting it back on.
There we go.
Kind of stupidly.
Currency.
One more smile, please. Okay, well done. Thank you. Goodbye.
Take, Kathy, take the glass from the...
We're behind.
We're looking behind.
We're a little behind.
Sorry. Okay.
We're sort of messed up here. Academics weren't the only thing. Various sports were certainly king. They were known for the spirit they'd bring.
I want to point out that this is before Title IX, so that we didn't have girls' athletic teams. But we did have football, basketball, wrestling, which, if I'm correct, someone can help me out, had its first undefeated season during our time. We had tennis and we had baseball. So what we'd like to do now is honor our athletes, those of you who were here who played 1, 2, some of you played 3 sports. I know that for a fact. Some of you played through, but those of you who are athletes, would you please stand? Tennis guys, baseball, football,
Jerry, do you remember when we took a... Oh, that's the letters you all learned.
That's why you all remember the varsity.
We're giving you all the letters again.
And Jim actually brought his jacket. Jim Stewart.
Jerry, do
Check that out.
you remember when we took a class trip to DC, enjoying all the things to see? It is a very good memory.
Yes, it is. And we'd like everybody who went on that trip to stand because we'll put you to the test now. So everybody who went to Washington, D.C. Nobody went? Don't lie. You know you were there. I know. Okay. Now, for those of you who are getting a little annoyed with this standing up and sitting down, this is what we call senior exercise, y'all. You'll be fine. It's all good. All right, so now, who can answer these questions? And those of you who were not, you can sit down so you get time to stand. Yes, all right, sit. That's good. And those of you who weren't on the trip, if you know the answer, this is good, and including our guests, you may have heard the stories. Okay, so who did the police tell to stop picking flowers at Mount Vernon?
Leslie. Right.
Was it Leslie?
Wasn't
Is
me?
that you?
What was it?
Why? You don't know?
Why did everybody point?
I don't remember.
Leslie's in all
Okay, which girl sneaked down to the boys' floor early Sunday morning? Okay, so who threw water out the window at the boys? I think it was sailors below. It was Austin, did it? Water balloons out the window. Was that you? Fess up.
Out the window at the boys' bar.
Well, I don't know. It's whoever's below. Maybe there weren't boys below. Maybe there was. I thought they were sailors. I think they were like from the Coast Guard or something. So bombing them. Okay, so which boy? Now this is very specific. Which boy, when he tried to crawl out of his room, looked up into Mr. Costley's He thought he was sneaking out, crawling out.
Rex smacking at Crossley with his shirt off and his underwear.
Okay, and I had totally forgot, I have to say, even though my memory is being tested, I'm supposed to be really good at this. I totally forgot about this, and now I really need to know, what does sailing really mean? And notice it's in quotes, so it's got nothing to do with boats in the water.
You know?
That's what it is.
He knows.
Who knows?
John.
Miss
I'm
Jones.
not going to be the only one that says I know.
You're not going to
You
reveal?
know?
Who knows?
I know what it means. I know what it means, man.
Who's
You're not going to say? It was a,
Your hand went
it was
sort of
your hand
sailing.
went places you might not,
It shouldn't have been.
some people might not want it to go.
I want to tell you where the...
No wonder I had.
Okay, here goes.
Oh, sure.
Sure. Stand up so people can hear you facing me. History
The
lesson.
term came because we were discussing why men's shirts
Yes.
button differently than women's shirts. See? And it was because that when you sit with a girl beside you, and you can
Never mind.
because the girl's shirt opens the other way.
Yeah.
So you can just go sailing.
Thank you. I remember the gesture like you sail right?
It works both ways.
Yeah, but then you have to sit on the other side.
Jerry, do you remember the play junior year? We shook the family tree was our premiere. Being a wallflower, Hildegard would fear.
I wonder. I know we've got a cheat sheet up here, so this should be pretty easy. I wonder if the people in it remembered that they were in it. So, if you were in it, raise your hand. We'll make you stand this time. All right, so now here's the next question. What was the theme of the play? What was it about? You remember?
Short pants.
Short pants? That's all you're going to, Dr. Long. That's your considered
Well,
opinion here.
Whether or not I was gonna get to wear long pants to the.
That was part of it, yeah.
Very good. Go ahead, Tom.
The Salvation Army versus the Cabaret, and that was the Salvation Army versus the Gamblers Timeout.
Oh, that's guys and dolls. This is where we shook the family tree. I want the year before. You were in that.
That was about boxer shorts.
That was about okay. Okay, we're done with the shorts, I think.
Jerry, do you remember then? Saturday night dances in the gym? Don Albert's Have I Sinned? And the Philly grind with the house lights dim.
Yes, I do. Remember the Philly grind? Nobody remembers that. The house lights would go down and all kinds of bad things would happen. Donnie Albert's Have I Sinned was like the Carnegie High School national anthem in some of these dances at night. But never mind. Denny, I do remember because Denny Marchetti and I, for a short while at least, were DJs, and we loved being up in the office in the gym.
Right there. Yeah.
Yeah, it was Mr. Zaney's office, and that's where they had a sound system. We used to spin records. And the fun part was that everybody would come up. Nobody would talk to you normally, but they would come up, bang on the door, and request their favorite song. So I want to do this real quick, and you all can just try not to trample. It's the teacher in me coming out. I'm sorry, I apologize. You're trying to trample on each other, but I'd like to hear what your favorite song would have been back then. We're talking 1964, 65. We're back at the Saturday night dance. Denny and I are upstairs getting ready to play the Platters, and you're coming up saying, I want to hear this song. What song was it?
Put your head on my shoulders.
Good night, my love.
Good Night, My Love. Put your head on my shoulder, somebody said.
1,000 Stars by Kathy Young.
I love it. Okay, what do we got? Nobody else? This here, I pretended you weren't there. I know you were. I saw you.
Righteous Brothers, you got that love?
You got that love and feeling. Anybody else?
Never
Okay.
mind love.
Oh, where we got who?
Town without pity.
Town Without Gene Pitney came to the high school too. Gene.
Penny danced with them.
So, what's that?
I think Penny danced with it. Was
Penny, you danced with Gene Pitney.
Was
He
it?
signed a plate to me, and he said, "Love those dimples."
That's right, I love it.
It was a paper plate.
That makes the story. Of course it's a paper plate. All right. Are we ready?
Jerry, do you remember the year that Kennedy died? Mr. Buggin stopped math and cried. 3+ days we watched and sighed.
1963. November 20th.
I mean, you really heard that why I was a mechanic, and I think for a lot of us, it was the first understanding of the magnitude of the presidency. And I believe we were sophomores. Taught us a little bit about how death could affect people's lives on this kind of massive scale. So yeah, I remember that.
And my eyes still water when I see pictures of John saluting. Jerry, do you remember the Vietnam War was going on? Years of the draft and soldiers gone. The question was, should we have withdrawn? Jerry,
Of course,
do you remember?
yeah, I do. And what I'd like right now, remember earlier when Denny made his announcement, I'd like everybody who served in Vietnam to stand. Would you please? And if you would you please stand? I need to be loud. Sorry. Those of you who served in Vietnam in the war, would you please stand? Our classmates who did, who are here. Would you please stand? Hold on. Just give me 1 second here. There's something I want to say, and I think it represents what all of us feel. I know. You didn't come home to the welcome you deserved. I know that. So, I hope at least tonight you'll accept our thanks and appreciation. Everybody talks about heroes. You're in for our class.